Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, our online talk show where we get to have conversations with diverse people and organizations who are impacting lives positively. This is your girl, Kemi Akiode Adebayo, aka Mama K. And in today's program, and to share a story, I've got a dear sister, friend, colleague, and everything, courageous lady, dynamic, smart entrepreneur, Dr. Bukky Bello Jaiyesimi. She is the CEO of Irachy PR, and as well the founder, stroke international president of African Women Foundation for National Building, which are both based in Nigeria. I think they work in Lagos and Abuja and all over the country, actually. Without further much ado, let me welcome my dear sister, Bukky. You're welcome. Dr. Bukky, you're welcome to Impact Africa. How are you today?
Fine, thank you, Mama K. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. I know you're very busy, and I know at the moment is a busy day for you. However, we were, really, really honored to have you here as well. So let's go to the beginning. Who is Dr. Bukky Jaiyesimi? Where were you born? What is your family background? Anything you want to share with us, for us to know you more?
Okay, Mama K, I'll start from somewhere. Bukky was born in the northern part of Nigeria, 1977, and into a family of two parents. My dad and mom are both working in the medical industry. And I'm the last of 5 children.
Wow, you're the last born, so you must be spoiled then.
I'm not sure about that, but
I'll need to ask your siblings.
Okay.
Huh? Do you think you're not spoiled? But the way we always say the last word is always the Yoruba word is ifanu, the one who is like, the parents are always like everything is yeah. So were you that to your parents?
I don't think my parents were that way, because my dad had this ideal of upbringing, and my mom as well. So if it's wrong, it's a no, and if it's right, why not? It's a yes.
Okay, so you didn't get away. You didn't get away with anything.
No, you couldn't get away, not from my home.
So you said you were born in the northern part of Nigeria. So can you speak the local language in the north then, which is Hausa, Fulani, and I'm sure there's others. So, but the main one, Hausa or Fulani, can you speak?
I speak Hausa. I write Hausa.
Oh.
I speak a little of Fulani.
Okay. Interesting. So, born to medical parents, mom and dad, last of 5. So where did you school? Did you school in the north as well?
Yes, it happened so.
Okay.
Yes, my early education life started in the north as well, to be precise, Jos. I started what we call the kindergarten or the nursery then. Okay. And my secondary as well, I went to Kaduna.
Okay.
Oman Secondary School, Kaduna, to be precise. After that, still in the north, I went for A levels. Still in the north.
Okay.
It goes on and on. Then I went after the A levels, I went for degree. After that, I had a couple of masters, which I got internationally, actually.
Okay, so what was your degree in? What did you study and where did you study? Okay, management.
I have 2, yes, and management is what I hold dearly myself, because I get the root of most of what I'm doing from there.
Right.
And my doctoral research is in international diplomacy, which I got from the US.
Okay.
So it's the history, the early life, and the education. My education was not tailored towards, just going to school and maybe having one degree or one master's or one postgraduate. No. I got into business quite early.
Okay.
And yes, and so when I discovered that I have need for a particular knowledge, I go for it. Yes, I go for it. I remember when I had the master's in international business law, it was because I was just tired of assuming or going by what lawyers were telling me when it comes to business dealings with foreign partners. So I wanted to have at least the basic myself. I want to understand what it entails, the do's and don'ts in the international market, and I went for that one.
Okay. So you empowered yourself because you didn't want anybody to cheat you, I guess, or to be telling you, all this grammar. And meanwhile, it's like.
No, I wasn't ready for any of that anymore. I'd gone through that.
Okay.
Before I took that turn, I said, why not even have the basic of it? Like when I had the MBA in entrepreneurship, it's because I wanted to know what the rudiments of entrepreneurship was outside what I thought it was or what the community says it is to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to know, what does it really entail? Are we really practicing entrepreneurship here, or we're just doing boo,
The usual. As we say in Yoruba, everything together.
I just needed enough knowledge to sustain me in any business endeavor. I put my hand in before I put my 2 legs, and I know that I'm balanced. So that's how it all came.
Okay, so in terms of business, now let's go to your business, which you are the CEO of Irachy PR, and as well the founder and international president of your NGO, the African Women Foundation for Nation Building. How did you start either of them, and why did you start them, and what do you do in them?
Okay, Irachy PR, it's a PR agency that brought together the different compartments that I was dealing with at the time.
Okay.
Yes, because I'm dynamic, and I've always known this from when I was young. If you look at most of my report cards way back in secondary school, you will find where you need your teacher to leave a comment about you. It always came with a dynamic young lady, a dynamic girl. So I knew that I was dynamic. So, and that meant for me that a lot was going to be happening, either in the business or in the career, whatever expertise I may decide, a lot will be happening. And I grew up to discover that one thing leads to the other, then you find yourself running about 3 different companies. And I said to myself, something needs to bring it all together.
Okay.
So something needs to bring it all together. I mean, it could be a group someday, but for now, something needs to bring it together. And that's how Irachy came to be. In fact, that name
I was just going to ask about the name, because when people think of Irachy, it's a different kind of spelling. So how did you come about the name? Exactly. Which year did you officially start?
That I brought everything together. Okay, the year I brought Irachy together was 2012, was when I brought Irachy all together, yes. But it's been in operation before then. Long before then, the different businesses. I was meditating and thinking about, okay, how do I bring this together? I spoke to 1 or 2 people, 1 or 2 business moguls, people that have tested the water, especially in Africa. And I did say, oh, I'm having this, I'm having that. I just need to bring them together. And nobody was able to give me any answer other than, oh, go start it, let it be a group. I said, I don't think I want business a group yet, because I believe before you attain having the status of a group as a business entity, a lot must have happened, proven track records, what others could emulate, young entrepreneurs could see. I said, I'm not there yet, so I'm not sure that will be it. So I knew the answer lied with nobody but for me to pray about it. So I did pray, thought about it for days, meditated updated. And suddenly the name just dropped, Irachy, ranks.
Right, okay.
So when I got Irachy ranks, I said, this is it. Then instead of going the way you actually spell Irachy, then I spelled it that way.
Which is Irachy.
H1.
Just to make
Yes,
sure.
exactly. Okay. So that's how Irachy came to be. So in
Okay.
Irachy, we perform some functions of public relations.
Okay.
And so we do media, we do strategy, we do sponsorship, and we do investor relations. Those are the 4 core of Irachy, which are businesses that were running on their own before the name brought them together. So that's how we came about Irachy.
Okay, and with your NGO, well, what do you do and what is that about as well?
Okay, at the end, African Women Foundation for Nation Building, for short, we say WINB Africa, was founded in the year 2014 alongside 4 other African women. And we looked at nation building as an immediate concern for the continent at the time. And we couldn't even see it going out of vogue at any time, especially when it relates to women. Women have been in nation building from inception. Either it is formally recognized or not, but what our parents, our grandparents, we met them doing, actually is called nation building.
Okay.
Now, yes, it's been refined, professionalism have come in at some point, but it's still what it is. And we just felt that should be the bedrock of what we're talking about when it comes to, projecting women issues or getting involved in refining the roles of women in the society, whatever sector of the economy. So that's African Women Foundation for Nation Building. So we intervene in every sector of the economy.
So what are some of the projects that you run, specific projects that you run?
We have some projects that are constant, that will never go. And we have some that we bring on like yearly basis.
Okay.
For instance, we have focused recently on our monthly roundtable. The monthly roundtable is a business forum where we'll meet virtually or physically to discuss issues affecting one sector of the economy or the other. So it could be tourism, it could be health, it could be education. Education is our fundamental tenet anyway, because we believe that every woman should be educated. And I think that is what gave birth to the monthly roundtable and the Education First series. This is where we have workshops, we have seminars that engage the mind of women and they can learn more, because we believe not every woman will sit in the 4 walls of a classroom in a lifetime. So we must have other ways, having information, bringing people to the table. So when we're talking about anything that has got to do with any particular sector of the economy, we tend to find the women in those informal and formal sector of that particular sector and bring them to the table. We'll discuss, and after each of these meetings, we have a communique, which we send out to not just those that have attended, but to governments where it is needed, yes. So they can see that, there was this meeting, so this was discussed. And somehow we believe that it formed some of their policies somehow, even if they don't get back to us to say it did. But some of them do, to say, we saw this, we're happy it was discussed, and this is what we're doing about it, or this is the agenda that it's on the UN Women Program. We have all
So you do, when you mentioned education there, you mentioned the fact that, you focus on education specifically. So do you do projects in schools as well? Do you have any school project?
Yes, we do. We have school projects where, for instance, we have done in the past sexual campaigns against against the girl girl child getting abused, not only abused by men, but by herself.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes the abuse starts even with the girl. Before you now refer to the other part. So we've run campaigns like that. Right. We have, we have done all kinds of empowerment in terms of a back to school project. Right. Back to school project says that according to the publication of the UN, that out of school children in a certain year will be more in Africa. We don't want to wait for this to happen. So that is what gave birth to the Back to School project, Destination Africa, yes. Okay. Every child will go back to school. Right. So what we're going to do, we're going to stop for a short break and we'll be right back. Okay, Madam Bukky, earlier on at the program, we went back to your beginning of your story from the north where you were born, being able to speak Hausa and Fulani, a little bit of Fulani, last one of 5 children, medical field parents, and the fact that you have 2 degrees and a doctorate degree, obviously, which is why you're Dr. Bukky, and CEO, of Irachy PR, and, founder and international president for the African Women Foundation for Nation Building. Let me now go a little bit now to, you in terms of some of your experience and what you know today. So what would you say makes a business to work? And can you, a business or an organization, and what, tips can you share with us on life, key life lessons that's maybe helped you, in your navigating the world of business, especially as somebody who works in a male-dominated, real estate, background as well, an author, multiple awards recipient, and so on and so forth. So can you share with us, key life nuggets, that's helped you and what makes a business work? Okay, a lot makes business work, but just as you said, there must be 1 or 2 of sort that is very key or evident, or I hold that to heart. I believe so much in the divine, because I believe I didn't just drop from space. So I always acknowledge the divine. And I believe the moment I commit my ways into his hands, I can only but relax, even in the face of the toughest of the moment. What has also worked for me, which others might learn from, is discipline. Okay. For me, discipline is it when it comes to being an entrepreneur or being in any career. Discipline with your time and other people's time. Discipline with money. Discipline with knowledge. Discipline with the way you look, your appearance. And you don't joke with that at all. A fashionista, always. Now I can see that. Okay. No, I'm listening. Don't mind me. Okay, because I discovered that if you have respect for your time, you will have respect for other people's time. You can't respect other people's time if you don't respect your own time. Correct. If you can't manage your own money, you might find it impossible to manage money for other people or on behalf of an organization, even if you are the end of affairs or you are the top job of that organization. So that's the discipline I'm talking about. And when it comes to appearance as well, I believe that your presence can give regard or disregard to the person you're meeting.
True, especially in Nigeria and in Africa generally.
It's very absurd when people want to come for a meeting and they can't just be bothered about how their hair is neatly packed or groomed, what's going on with their nails or the way they appear. Some people might not give a damn about it, but some other people will judge you by your appearance and the time you arrive without even listening to what you have to say.
Correct.
So every time I'm in the classroom, maybe talking to executives or giving any of my motivational speeches or even training, which I do from time to time, I always emphasize this, that you are judged by two things before you even utter a word, which is the time you arrived and your appearance. So I think when we're talking on personality development, is part of what any serious individual needs to pay attention to. And I believe this needs to be groomed in us from while we're children. It doesn't just jump on you.
So basically, you have to start nurturing young ones, to take extra care with their parents. But how do we deal with an issue of, when you mention discipline of time, Nigerian time, African time? How are we going to get it right? Because that is a big one. Everybody always claims they're waiting for the next person, or they will never arrive on time. And how do we educate, the younger generation on that?
They need to be taught to value their own time. That's where it starts from. If I have 1 hour with you and the next 1 hour is valuable to me, I will not be interested in giving you more than 5 minutes of the next hour. But if the next hour is empty, no vision for that time. By the way, one of my books is called The Vision Matters.
Okay.
So that's to find quotes on vision. So if you have a vision for the next hour, you will be unwilling to let go of more than 2, 3, 4, or maximum 5 minutes of the next hour for something else, except if it's really, really important and you can attest to it that it's important. But when the next hour is not planned, you don't even know what you want to do with it, or you're probably just waiting for some friends to come and say, oh, let's get there, let's talk about this, then it's not planned for. So somebody who is supposed to take 30 minutes of your time will come and take a whole of 2.5 hours, and you keep smiling there and think the day is going well. The person is achieving, but you are not.
Exactly. So time is money. Time is essential.
Exactly. You're not maximizing the potential of your time. And that only can be done by discipline. You want to catch an aircraft at 3 p.m. It will only, a good story will not keep the aircraft on ground for an hour waiting for you.
You Jones, as we say, if you are late, rain don't beat you with that.
We just know when to get serious. So if we're serious with airlines because we're going to lose money, then why are we not serious on the one that no one is supervising? You're not the person supervising your time, even when your parents are not there for the young ones. So you must take responsibility and be disciplined with your time, or else other people will show you how to spend that time or what to spend that time doing, which might not just be related to your course in life.
Right. Okay, we're going to stop for a quick break again, and we'll be right back. Bukky, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you for this nugget shared, with what makes organization work and, kind of key tips, as well, that one should, take, especially the discipline one, stood up for me, which, yes, we all need to discipline ourselves more in terms of time, money, appearance, knowledge, and so on. Thank you for that. Very, very deep. And a woman of faith, you are, believing
Can I
in
mention
the...
something?
Yes, go on.
We must be generous with that discipline, even with our colleagues at work.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you're the only one that is disciplined, they will tend to be disciplined only when you are within their reach. When you are not around, they return back. They go back to what I call the default mode. They go back to the default mode. So you must be generous with this discipline. You must carry them along. And it's not everybody that belongs to the vision of an organization.
Correct.
So if they get in there somehow, they will be on their way out. Once they discover that their level of discipline is below what is expected in this place, or else you'll be losing money.
Correct. No, I agree 100%, 100%. Let me now move now to, because, with these things, we always run out of time and we always need part one, part two. It's like a classes, master class, when we talk about especially things like that. So what motivates you as a person? What keeps you going? Why do you do what you're doing?
One, I think it's inborn because I hate being idle. It makes me sick when I'm not working. I feel sick, seriously. I feel sick when I'm not working. Then I have this motivation that something needs to be done somewhere at a certain time. So that wakes me up every day. I go to sleep with that thought, and I draw my strength from the words of Mother Teresa of blessed memory, which says, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone in the middle of the ocean that can cause many ripples.
Right. So true. So
much
true.
as I know that it's impossible for one person to get all the job done within the house, within the office, within the society, in the community or social work environment. I know that the contribution of just one person, my own contribution, my own effort, will cause that ripple that will get other people to come on board and also will solve or make life easier for other people. So with that at the back of my mind, I'm motivated every day, every minute.
Awesome. So now I know we spoke about, the key tips and, earlier on, key lessons and what makes it, businesses work. So what are some of the personal qualities, of a leader that has helped you, apart from discipline and, there was something else you said, there, that has helped you, in your being an entrepreneur and a successful one? What are some of the qualities that is needed for a good leader?
The list is endless, but let me try.
I know, just touch on a few that for you that you have used and has helped you.
I mentioned discipline, which is key, and also integrity matters a lot.
Okay.
It matters a lot. And that is why I will always say it's good to be bold. Because if you're bold enough to say things the way they are, you have nothing to fear and your integrity will not be in check.
Right.
So for a leader going somewhere, integrity is key. You must learn to say things the way they are. You're not available at 4 p.m. You're just not available. Some people will be upset, but you're just not there.
Okay, let me now move on now to the wider past, our organizations looking at Nigeria or Africa as a continent. We all know, what the challenges, we face across Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, all across Africa, which mainly are things to do with poverty, unemployment, tribalism in some places, racism in some places, xenophobia in some places, gender-based inequality, poverty, crime. I could go on and on and on. And for me, it's always about, okay, we know these problems exist, but what are the solutions? So what are some of the solutions, you want to share on any, of those challenges that can fix, some of this problem in Nigeria or South Africa or, overall in Africa?
Okay, thank you. A sad one, but a big challenge that I believe that someday in our time will be reduced to the barest minimal. I believe it's possible. I will go back to women. And I will also refer to nation building.
Okay.
I am able to speak with my son, and we get it right from the house before he steps out. That's where I believe it starts from.
Family.
I also have a mother who schooled me on the do's and don'ts in the society before I stepped out. In fact, in our time, you'll be flogged properly. So you will understand that they think the cane drives the message home. And I think it did to some extent.
I'm always getting, people like you believe in corporal punishment. I think I'm going to have a program specifically on corporal punishment.
That was what we saw, not necessarily from my parents, though.
I know. I was beaten. My father beat me. My mother too. My father would beat me. Yeah, and say, I'll take you to the hospital.
It was a general thing that will make you look like, in fact, if a child is being beaten in the next house, for the next 3 days, that child is not a good child until the parents see that he or she shows remorse. I'm not saying we are still in that age of beating, no. But communication, even in management, is the new paradigm shift.
Right.
Even in management, we've moved from the autocratic way of getting things done, issuing out instructions, go here, come here, like being in the barracks, to communication. So communication should not only be taught at home, but even in the four walls of the classroom where we have young minds and grown minds attend, for them to understand what communication really is. I remember one of the first things I learned in communication, I think this was at the master's level, is that communication is incomplete until there's feedback.
Okay.
I have heard this severally, I mean, in early education, but I didn't really understand what that meant. And when we talk about feedback, it's another body of knowledge entirely.
Correct.
Where you want to check what's the quality of the feedback, Communication needs to go between parents and children, between teachers and learners, between the government and the civil society and the citizens. So if communication is not
effective and efficient communication. Okay.
Exactly. Now you're getting to the burning issue. You're touching the wrong end. Communication is not smooth. It's not good. It's not good. You don't say you're doing this and you're doing the next thing. Even governments to citizens. You don't tell citizens what they want to hear because you want riots to be over. Then you go back to default.
Election.
Yeah, exactly. So if we can't get that right, we have a long way to go. That's why I went back to say, parents, please don't get tired. Because this is where it starts from. I'm sure there are some things at your age, Make, that you can't even think of doing, no matter the level of influence.
Yep, correct.
And why is this? Apart from the fact that you taught yourself, some of it might be back to what will daddy say?
Yes, so they must not hear.
But when you feel free to carry a gun or a knife and you think it's invoked to stab a citizen like you on the street, and nothing will happen. Also, calculated the jail term. And it's as bad as, okay, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, let's go and see what's happening in that world. Then we'll come out again. Then you see that something is wrong. Communication has broken down.
Yeah.
At a certain level that we might not be able to know. So the government as well should please be able to do this, just as we pointed out.
Well, I had more questions. However, you know, we're going to stop there. I'm being told by my technical that we've kind of running out of time, and definitely we'll be back, you know, hopefully when you have more time, you know, to you know, share with us your story more, and, you know, because this is not even 1/4 of it at all. So what I want to ask is, in closing, if there's any word of encouragement or anything you want to share with any of our viewers, maybe the young people, maybe women, because you're passionate about women, maybe men, maybe entrepreneurs, whoever you want to speak directly to, please just share.
I would like to speak to everybody. And this is to say, when it comes to gender, when we talk of parity or we talk of equality, whichever way it is put, when we went to college and we had some women studying medicine, we had some studying some courses in aviation, tourism, there was no time that it was said that, oh, girls could not be part of this class. There are women that came out with flying colors in different disciplines. So at what point did it become a male-dominated place?
Right.
So I want every woman to realize that you owe yourself to unleash your potentials, regardless of what the narrative is. That's why we find people that are vowed to make marks in their chosen field, which is very good, because part of what we do in nation building in WINB Africa is celebrate legacies. Remember, what will you be remembered for someday? Someday you've moved on to some other career, to some other places. Where you are today, if a book will be written about your journey there today, what would it be? So I think that should motivate us. Forget about what other people are even writing. If you don't even care about your legacies being celebrated, would you be at peace with yourself that you did what you should have done at a certain time? I think this should be a motivating factor. And Mother Teresa, as I did say, I will repeat it again. This goes for everybody. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone in the middle of the ocean that can cause many ripples. If everyone will cast a stone and we have ripples being multiplied, then the world is changing fast. So whatever field of endeavor we must find and we find ourselves, I think that should be something to remember and to do. Believing that people will benefit from it when you have long left even that place. And that's the development of mankind that we're talking about.
Deep stuff. Dr. Bukky, Bello Jaiyesimi, it has been an honor and a great pleasure. There's so much, packed in the short time we've been hearing your story and having this conversation. I'm not going to try and recap, but some of what stood out for me are mainly things like the tips you gave, on discipline of your time, of money, of your appearance, communication, efficient and effective communication. And, a lot, you said in there, and particularly handing, speaking to our women, saying, they need to unleash their potential. So thank you so much, for all you do through your various initiatives, through your business, Irachy PR. We will be sharing the details at the end, through the African Women Foundation for Nation Building, who are doing great works. Kudos to you and your team for all you're doing, impacting lives positively in your own way and little ways. And I continue to pray that the divine power that you believe in will continue to give you the grace, to carry on. And you will leave a legacy that will be celebrated for your son and generations to come. Because, this is all what, this race, we're all, doing in this world is about. What legacy are we leaving, for people, others to come? Be it our children, great-grandchildren, and other people to come. And like you said, they're quoting Mother Teresa, you quoted her twice, that yes, one cannot change the world alone, but one can cast a stone in the ocean, which will create a ripple effect. I just want you guys out there listening and watching to just try and picture that. Or when next you go to the ocean, just practice or try it and see how you could see that stone. I know we used to do it when we were younger, my age. Although I'm still younger, so don't let me become even though I'm Mama K, but I'm not Mama in that way. When we used to throw a stone into the ocean, and you see how there's a way you throw it, and you can throw it whereby it just goes on the surface. I can't do it well now, but I remember I used to try it, in those days into water. So thank you so much, for what you're doing. And we hope, we'll be back to hear more of your story and what you're doing and how you're making change, effective change in Nigeria and in other places, because you do work across Africa with other women across Africa. So kudos to you and well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Mama K, I thank you.
It is a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
All your team at the Impact Africa online talk show, you're doing a very good job. And this is part of the legacies. This is a stone in the middle of the ocean causing many people.
Correct. No, thank you very, very much for your time. We will definitely be back to have more conversation on specific things. So there you go, guys. This is all we've got time for. Remember, Dr. Bukky says, unleash your potential. So leave a legacy, communicate effectively and efficiently, discipline yourself, your time. African time needs to stop. We cannot keep on going, with that, because time is money. Time is valuable. So you heard all of what she said. You need to play back again so that you can hear those tips. And she shared with us as well a book, which is called Vision Matters. And, maybe we'll share that as well at the end, so we will know where we can get, such from. So till next time, remember, stay safe, keep well, love you. God bless you all. Adios.